Okay, welcome everybody to this special live stream. We do not normally go live on Fridays, but I hope you guys enjoy it. My name is Dan C. Bearded, and this stream is pretty special. We have some big changes in news about a company known as Defined Beard Co., and we have the two owners that I'm really excited for you guys to get to know on camera. So if you are in the chat, guys and girls out there, drop a comment so we can see who is here. If you're on your way in, hit a thumbs up if you don't mind. And if you want to share it out to support this channel and support this company, the more the merrier. We'd love to see more people getting to know what's going on with this company and their products, and especially these big changes. So thank you to everyone that's here nice and early. This will stay up if you're watching in the future. Please feel free to leave a comment down below with any thoughts, questions as it goes on. But I would like to give a warm welcome to the two owners of Defined Beard Co. We have Mrs. Defined and Carrie. He's not Mr. Defined, he's just Carrie there.
It's our last names.
Yeah, right. How are you guys doing?
Good. Doing great.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's
Friday.
Yeah, we're both just happy that this time is here, but yeah, Friday's good, and getting this off the ground is definitely a big stress reliever,
Absolutely. And Mark Brown, thank you so much for that super chat. Mark is such an amazing supporter and shared out this stream earlier, and I know he's always spreading positivity and love, so that's awesome. And yeah, so we'll, and guys and girls out in the chat, we're going to have tons of time towards the middle end of the show to be able to ask any questions about the changes, about the company, about the owners. One of the best things about this is you guys get to know the people that are behind the scenes that are actually doing all of these things. And we'll kind of, jump right into it. But this has been for quite a while. And I've been kind of your sounding board, bouncing board of things, just bouncing off ideas and discussing it. How long would you say that these changes have been really in the works?
Well, let's see. I started thinking about doing it at the beginning of the year, but then I'd say probably about 4 or 5 months ago is when I actually brought the idea to you, and, said I told you, I hired a designer to do something, and
yep.
He didn't work out,
Yep.
So I hired and fired a couple of guys, and then I ended up going with the guy who does my product photos,
That's so cool.
Yeah. So cool. I don't know why I didn't just have him do them in the first place, but it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, he does that too. But, and he's just, we'd worked together before, so it was easy for me to work with him and tell him my vision, and then get feedback from you and Sam and everybody.
Yeah.
Misdefined.
Yep.
Other company owners that I talk to, and local friends, and the shark.
I love that. He said the beauty behind Defined is live. That's right. First time ever, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
First stream?
I'm usually in the chat, but This is the first time I've been here.
That is awesome. And let's go ahead and jump kind of right into this so we don't have to talk about it kind of vaguely. And so I'll go to the next screen, and then Carrie, I'll let you kind of take it away to talk about what these changes are, and of course pivot to Mrs. Defined anytime it seems correct. Here is, and you got little peeks on the thumbnail, of course, but here we go, everybody. Boom. All right. What? Woo! Everybody goes crazy. So, what is going on, Defined Beard Co.?
Oh, it's that was just kind of like my vision for everything, to move from. We always felt like we were pigeonholing ourselves into being a local brand, a vintage brand, and this was kind of the springboard into being. I mean, we've always sold worldwide,
Yep.
But it kind of was. I feel like this is the springboard to being a national brand. I talked to you about that before as well, and I always wanted the brand to be something that if when you look at it, you could vision it, seeing it in a store, and on a shelf in a store, And, basically what I did was my ideas, and the reason why I did this, because if anybody remembers back in 2020, when I first started, it was kind of what I did was I'd have a scent with a name, and then I'd have a picture or an icon or something with it. That started the whole lemon delight controversy, because that was the first color I ever put on a label. But so what I did was kind of take that idea and move it into a more modern, minimalist, luxury looking, thing with the gold icons, and and upgrading even the label materials, what's called plastic metallic, so
Yep.
It looks fire in person.
It's not just vinyl, so it was just that was really what my vision was for, just to be able to. And I told you, I said I wanted the scents to be the star of the show, and that's why we don't have, like right now, the old logo took up 3/4 of the bottle,
Yep.
That's how big it was, and this one I wanted the scent to be more of the focus, and then, the logo just clean sitting at the top,
Absolutely. I love this comment here. Redefined Beard Co.
Yeah. Actually, Holly messaged me right before this and said, "Does this mean you're refined Beard Co?"
Nice. None of those even crossed my mind, but it seems like very, very obvious on that one.
Yeah. Holly will figure that one out,
For sure. And let me go here, and I will show a couple of these on screen because, yeah, I agree. The pictures don't do it justice. I have heard a couple people actually reach out and they're like, oh, seeing from the thumbnail, seeing from here, oh, it looks like this company or that company. And it's like, man, once you actually get these, it is not look at that. Look at the shine. Look at the what did you call it? The plastic metallic?
Yeah, it's plastic metallic. Like if you look through the back, you can see it's actually metallic paper.
Yeah.
Metallic
really is unique. And the thing for me that really drives, and as you said, you had gotten advice and tips and feedback from me, which was mainly Sam C. Sam just has a really good eye for labels and stuff, and her whole premise always is, could I see it in Target? That's always the biggest thing for her. And this sitting on a shelf 100% would be something that you would be able to see in a store, in an Ulta, in a Target, in anything like that. They just look so nice, so clean and classy, and I love what you guys did with the wash and with the conditioner to make sure that they are different. You're not going to confuse these and grab one and put the conditioner in first when you wanted the wash in first. So, man, I am loving these. Just clean, sophisticated. It looks like it's an actual level up, and that's what it's all about, kind of natural growth and improving as you go along.
Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the process that I'm trying to keep following the plan and, just keep growing. And I think this is probably one of the biggest decisions I've ever made, in almost, I guess we're almost 3 years, it's been since 2020. And it was hard for me. I mean, we talked last night. I think I said it. I said, how I am. I always second guess myself, and then I make the right decision. That's just how I am. And so, the advice you gave was valuable, very valuable. And we developed a good relationship while working on this, and it made it easier on me, and it gave me an outside perspective, because I could easily just say, I love all these labels and I'm going to put them out without even asking anyone,
Right.
So that, I just don't think that's the right thing to do. I think you got to have somebody who's willing to hold you, not accountable, but, is willing to say, just like that, one version we had that had, it had the abbreviated, it had the DBC, and Sam was like, get rid of that.
And that's what I was going to say. This wasn't, and it's so interesting to see behind the scenes, because most people don't ever see anything behind the scenes. And to see this, it's like, wow, these look amazing, look nice. And it's like, man, there were many drafts, there were many changes. Even when you got to the final change, it was like, okay, well, we have to change this little thing and we got to change that little thing. There's so much that goes into it on how does it look? Is it legal? Are we setting ourselves up for success in the future? Like, there's so much that goes into what seems like small things, but they're huge things.
Yeah. I mean, even just the simple things that take forever, like proofreading.
Right.
Making sure, that the designer didn't misspell anything. You got to go through every single label, read every single one 100 times. I'd hand them to her and go, let me know if you see anything that doesn't look right. If I missed a misspelling, if he misspelled this. And there was misspellings.
Yes.
There was things that I kept having to go back. I mean, honestly, this was supposed to happen quicker, but because of having to make sure that it's 100% right, it got delayed, So, but it was only about 2 or 3 weeks, but, it was just one of those things that you just have to make sure everything's right before you go. And, when you're buying almost 20,000 labels, you don't want to, you don't want to get them and be like, crap, it says ingredients, or something like
little
that.
Sharpie action going on.
So,
no doubt. No doubt. And even like printer size. I remember some of the first runs got sent to the printer and they said, nope, this isn't going to fit. We got to adjust this. Like there's so much that goes into this. And I am definitely not hired for the spell check. That was all them. I'm decent at spell. I will say I have a writing program that I do as one of my new streams of income. And it will tell you when you spell a word, but it does not autocorrect or give you suggestions. So I've had to learn how to spell because it won't tell me like what it is. And I'm like, this is super valuable. If you actually want to learn how to spell, it'll tell you you're wrong, but not give you any recommendations. So all those things. I mean, I just filmed a review today, actually, and the first round of labels, it only went out to reviewers. They had to put a note on there. These are wrong. It will go out. The correct ones will go out to the consumers, but same thing. They ordered a whole roll of labels and they just have to toss them because they were straight up wrong. One of the things, it was supposed to say 3.4 ounces on the butter and it said 1. Well, you can't have that, that is a problem. So, you're going to make people feel like they had a great deal. So there's a lot that goes into that. And there's more to this too. We'll take a look in the website in just a second here. But you do have another kind of, I think, a pretty big change down in this corner over here. If you want to touch on the wash and the conditioner.
Yeah. So two of the biggest questions that I get, emails, and, people from the website messaging me or on social media, when are you ever going to have your washes in your own scents? Will you ever do it? And I was always like, I never wanted to pigeonhole anyone into having to, if you use a wash, then you got to use that oil, and I mean, and I think we've got it to where what we did was we've started with King's Bounty and Around the Fur. So there won't be any more Invigorating Mint. Every wash from now on will be in our own scent. So that's going to be standard across the board. That's obviously Dan's favorite there.
I may have also
she had
picked that one.
She had a big hand in that one too. But when you're picking scents that you're going to put in washes, you want to pick the ones that sell, and that's obviously King's Bounty being our number 1 seller, and Around the Fur being number 2. You also got to realize that you can't do every scent in a wash because some of them just don't translate to wash like they do in oil or butter, So I was a little worried about Around the Fur because it's more of a lighter scent, but it turned out good. And then the second thing is, are you ever going to have unscented conditioner? And I thought about it for the longest time, and I said, you're probably right. So now, we're going to move the conditioner 100% to unscented. And that way you've got your wash with, our scents. You can follow it up with an unscented conditioner. So you don't always have to have both, to match together, the scent. Yep. And
still has the same great product in it.
Yeah, it's still the same wash, still the same conditioner. Nothing's changed with the ingredients or anything like that. The only difference will be that we will be doing our own scents from now on.
That's awesome. I cannot tell you how excited I am for King's Bounty Wash. I think it just lends itself to a wash scent. I think it's just a beautiful, I use it on my head hair. I use it on my beard. I just think it's a perfect, of course I love it, but I think it's just a perfect scent for cleansing as well. It's just calming. It's relaxing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and if you guys have questions out there, I'm going to be starring them, and we will have a question section. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you guys. We're just going to get all the information out there, and then we will 100% kick it to questions and kick it to the chat, which is going to be awesome. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the website here, because you'll be able to touch on this too. There were a lot of changes with the website, and let's get a look. Everybody, your first look here at the new website. Boom, baby. So scroll here, just so clean, well put together, and just, the design, the new logo, everything on here just looks fantastic. So what happened with the website? What do you want people to know about this change? Because there's a lot that went into this.
Yeah. I'll let her talk about that,
It was a lot to put into it. He didn't want the website to be down for an extended period of time. So
there's no owner that wants to take a 24-hour break from sales,
Right. Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of time crunching, double checking spelling.
Yeah, so it was made, just wasn't published. It was basically being worked on.
Yep.
And then then I really just pulled it down at 7:00 last night. And as soon as I did it, I got a stomach ache. I was like, oh man. And then as I was,
it wasn't dinner.
And I kept telling her, I was like, I don't. There's people on the website right now. And I was like, I don't want to just shut it off while there's people on it, because you can see that there's we can see that there's people visiting your website at the moment. And so I was waiting, and and what I was trying to do was I was making sure the orders are being printed out, because I didn't want any to shut it off in the middle of a transaction or anything like that. So I was like, okay, well, here's another order, so I got to print that one real quick, and now I'm going to shut it off. And then another one came through, and I was like, wait, hold on, let me print that one real quick. And then finally I looked, and I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I finally just did it, and I
took a huge breath and went, oh God.
Yeah,
it's real.
It is, but it's worth it. It's all worth it.
Absolutely. And you got the scent page, you got the story of the company, they got blogs, all of it broken down just so nicely. So congratulations on a beautiful, beautiful website. That is a really big deal. And I think it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you. We're proud of it, and I think it's going to, definitely move our company forward and catch some more eyes. And the product is good enough as it is. It just. Yep. I think this is just that extra little bump for it. So.
Yep, absolutely. And so then we have one more bit of kind of news, not exactly an update, but just something to touch on here, with kind of not two of my favorites, my two favorite tools in the world, Chicago combs and the ABRA Pro. So what's going on with these?
Yeah, so I've always, I've had the Chicago combs for, I don't know, maybe about a year now, I guess. I've added the number 10, which is an amazing little pocket carry for a big beard. Yeah. But yeah, no, so I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, I reached out to ABRA Pro, because it's clearly the best on the market. Yep. About becoming a distributor for them, and they weren't doing it at that time. And then one day out of the blue, I got an email from the owner, and he was opening it up and invited us to, become a distributor for him. And we jumped right into it. I wasn't going to say no,
Right.
How could I? I use it. You use it. Yep. A lot of people use it, and it's just a good beard straightener. It's a good product, something that they stand behind and something I stand behind. And, it's, you're always going to get exactly what they say you're going to get when ABRA says you're going to get it.
So true. So true. And you are welcome for that. I had a consultation with him, and he had really no concept of wholesale sales.
Yeah.
And so I had to like explain to him how it worked, and he was wanting to do like affiliates with companies, and so I'm like, that's not going to quite work out that way. And so I explained, and then he's opened it up, and I'm so happy that more people get to try these out. And it's just nice to be able to add it onto an order. It's nice to be ordering something, whether you need to get free shipping, whether you want to pair it together with these different gifts. Man, it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, because it's a big investment,
For sure.
Wholesale is a whole nother animal because you got to buy a whole lot, and
Yep.
and these aren't just combs, these are beard straighteners. So that was one thing that I was like, it's got to be worth it. And I think the first when I put them on the site, I think I sold 3 of them like instantly,
Yeah.
like right
Nice.
away, just as soon as the email went out, saying that we had them now. And it is. I mean, it's just a good product that works on my beard, works on, I mean, just about any beard,
Beard and hair.
and hair.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. The mayor uses it on his head hair too.
Yeah. So we're definitely proud to be a distributor for Aberlite now. So
that is awesome. Absolutely awesome there. So yes, it is officially here, you guys. No, I had a bunch of people asking me about things like, did they change the oil? Nope. The products are still amazing, still the same, and they look good. And I mean, we've had those discussions like, hey, do you think we should change anything with this or that? And it's like, no, like the oil is so amazing. The butter is phenomenal. Like there's no need to change those things. These are just natural steps to move forward, to get a broader net. And I'm very excited. It sounds like everybody's absolutely loving it out there. So that is really, really cool. Really cool to see.
Yeah. We did talk about that, like
Yep.
maybe adding an oil, maybe taking out.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And, I tried a few, like, and I didn't even feel it. I mean, I was just like, this doesn't, the carrier blend right now is great. And the only way I would ever change it is if it was something that just made it amazingly wow,
Right.
And I just didn't see that with what I had come up with, I guess you'd say. And I kind of just put it on the back burner and said, just realize that the carrier blend I have is perfect,
It's amazing.
It's right in that medium viscosity. It speaks to people who on both sides who like,
correct.
I mean, it's like right there in the middle. So
Yep. There are specialized blends out there where people like, I need a thick blend and heavy in my rotation. I need a thin one, and they go this or that. But then there's people that are like, I can't use that one. It's too thick. I can't use that one. It's too thin. I legitimately have never had somebody say I can't use defined beard oil. Like it's never happened. It just works for everybody. It's so good. And it is, anytime I talk about a true medium viscosity, I always use defined as that example because it really is. It just seems like it's straight up in the middle, that medium viscosity.
Thank you to both Marks there, Mark OD and Mark Brown.
Yep.
I might be late. We might be up a little bit behind on a delay, but
no. Yeah, so many kind comments, and
yeah.
Since last over 2 years, some of the best in the game. Yep, these have staying power. It's not going to be fading. It's not going to be going rancid on you. They are absolutely wonderful. And if anybody's just coming in, quick recap for Defined Beard Coat. They have brand new labels, massive upgrade. They look phenomenal. They have a brand new website that's redesigned, streamlined, looks beautiful, and then just couple of small adjustments as well. They are now going to be offering their own scents for the beard wash so far with King's Bounty and Around the Fur, and they now have a straight up unscented beard conditioner. Boom.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how much I missed unscented conditioner until I did it. I was like, I was like, why have I not just been doing unscented the whole time?
Yep. No, it is good. And so there are, and we can probably start getting into the questions now. So far, there are only 2 scents in the beard wash. Is the plan to slowly add more? Is it going to be rotating them out? What is the vision for the scented beard washes?
No, so we'll always keep King's Bounty and Around the Fur, and we'll only add the ones that Well, first of all, it has to work in the wash. I mean, there's testing that goes on because you're
right.
You could say, this smells great in your beard oil, but when you mix it with different ingredients, it's not the same,
Yeah, it's a straight up chemistry assignment when you start working with
and also the
water-based.
percentages are different and things like that of, for the fragrance, for the different products. So they're not all the same. So,
yep.
So that's going to be a big part of it. But I really want to do it in Ace of Fades. I've had a lot of people say they like that, but that's another, it's a lighter scent as well. So, that'll really have to be tested. I do plan on doing more. Right now we're just going to stick with King's Bounty around the fur, and maybe even do some for a little while, just to, do a limited run of another scent. I think Deep Pockets would be a really good one.
Amherst
for
sure.
Yeah. So
for sure.
We could do a bunch, we're still growing, so we don't want to put too much on the plate yet. We want to, we got to kind of streamline processes. And that's also one of the things that you and I have, talked about is the upgrades, in the lab, to make processes go faster, adding more filling machines, more labelers. Obviously they probably think that's like a freaking fireplace back there. That's, there's a 50-pound wax melter, just making processes easier and
more streamlined,
and not having to spend so much time hand applying labels and things like that, and it's just made the whole thing easier. I've really taken and invested a lot of money into it, and that's exactly what you have to do if you want to build a brand and sustain a business. You have to grow. You can't just stay stagnant.
Absolutely. And guys, if you have questions, pop them in the chat. We'll be kind of going through in order here. So I'll kick this one to Mrs. Defined. Is the lavender, would you say in King's Bounty, is that strong?
No, I wouldn't say so. I do like lavender scents. It's kind of, my favorite, but I think that the lavender blends so well with everything else. I wouldn't say it's prominent in it. There's just a nice tone.
Yeah, if I didn't know anything about the oil, I don't even know if I could pull out lavender. I legitimately get a beautiful floral cologne. Like that's what I get from it. I'm not like, oh man, this is, and I love lavender. So yeah, JD, I would not say that the lavender is strong in there.
Great.
Lemon Delight, yeah. Do you guys ship to Australia?
We actually will ship anywhere. That is one of the things that we've changed is, the part of the business that nobody ever sees is how many packages USPS loses. And it's always, it feels like it's always an international package.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have, about a month ago, we completely stopped using USPS for international shipping, and now we'll ship anywhere in the world with UPS or DHL.
Good. That's awesome. Awesome.
And that's helped a lot because when UPS and DHL, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time so far, when they say it's going to be there in 4 or 5 days, even if it's halfway across the world, it gets there. Yep. USPS would still be trying to figure out how to get it off the coast of the United States.
So true. Yeah, absolutely. All right, here is a scent question for either of you.
Olibanum that's basically a frankincense.
Yeah. Yep. It's earthy. It's the best way I would put it is it's a spicy, earthy, kind of rich tone to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is frankincense. There's really there's not like there's a bunch of different kinds of frankincenses, but this one, it's just, it does have a little more of an earthy tone.
Yeah,
to it,
it's in the world of amber. in that same kind of family for sure.
Yep.
Jake, yes, I would 100% say that the wash is a daily wash. You have a pH level where you're totally fine using it daily. I never feel like I'm overstripping my beard or having any issues with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I use it every day. I mean, that's why we have it, because it's it's called intense hydrating wash for a reason, because it it's not going to strip, and it's going to keep your beard soft too as well. But we have the Blackjack beard bar, which has activated charcoal in it, and that is going to be what is going to be more stripping.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
I use my wash every single day, like every single day.
Yeah, no,
never skip.
I'm washing it now that we go to the gym every day. I am washing every single day as well. If for some reason we have a day off, I'm still washing. I just like the way it feels. And people have always said things like, "Oh, well, you're going to strip the natural oils." Yep, that absolutely. Like, that's fine. That's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? We have beard oil, which I would argue is better than sebum oil. And so, yes, there's no issue there, especially when you're using a daily, a gentle one. Totally fine.
Yeah.
And I did get these questions as well, with kind of the people not knowing exactly what was changing, exactly what was going on. I literally had people freaking out saying, they're not going to get rid of this, are they? They're not going to get rid of that, are they? Fragrances. The fragrances you had an hour ago, did any hit the cutting block? Are any gone?
No, they're all still there. Yeah,
there we go.
That's a pretty solid lineup, so we're going to stick with most of those, for a while at least, because if it sells, it stays.
I was just going to say money and numbers talk. I mean, it's a definite pet peeve of mine when we do something, I do a stream, and then there's let's say some scent is going out of the lineup for any company. Then you get everybody coming through the woodwork saying, "Oh my God, not that one, not that one." It's like, listen, put your wallet there, buy it if you want it. Companies aren't cutting things that are making them money. And so it's like a lot of, we had actually talked about that before stream. A lot of people ask questions and say things, but then they don't follow them with actions. You guys, no company is ever like, I'm putting an axe to this scent because I just want to. It's the numbers talk. And so it's good to hear that they're all still here. And if you guys love scents, you want to make sure you're supporting that scent so it stays. Pretty simple.
Yeah. And then, I've been so busy with this for so many months and trying to keep up with the daily business and everything. Like, I mean, I think I was even talking to you yesterday. I just met with my accountant for like 2 hours. You still have to cram those things in. Like a lot of things go on behind the scenes. It's not just me sitting in this lab every day, doing everything. I got to do a bunch of different stuff. So
on top of a career.
Yeah, exactly. So, I am going to, I'm going to re-release Fall Classic in November. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said last year, I'll bring it back every fall. I usually would have, I think last year I brought it back right around now, but this kind of put a little halt to my sync, what I've been doing. So now I can concentrate on that. And, I've already talked to the guy about doing the labels, and
awesome.
Got the fragrances on order. And I mean, and actually I had told her, I said, man, I got to release Fall Classic. And I have a recipe book, of everything I make. And, I was like looking through this book, and I was like, okay,
it's a legit book.
Yeah, it's sitting up here. So I'm looking through the book, and I'm like, where is Fall Classic? Where's what? No. I couldn't find it in there. And I was like, did I write that down somewhere else? And so I was like, man, which fragrances was it? So as I'm reorganizing my fragrance wall that you can't see behind me, you might see a little bit, but you can see the two big red ones. That's King's Bounty and Ace of Fades. But, I was looking up there through all the ones that I had made to make that one. And as soon as I found the 3 that I used in it, I was like, it all came back to me. I was like,
that's cool.
I remember now, it was this % of this and this % of that and this % of that. Mixed one up. smelled it and was like, yep, that's it. That's
Perfect.
the one. So I got lucky on that one, and I wrote it down
this time.
Yeah.
This time, nice. Yeah, you're getting love from Ken and Diablo and everyone that loves the fall classic. Ken even says it should be a main line. It's that good. We know Bearded Wolverine loves it as well.
Yeah. I mean, if it takes off this fall, you never know, because I mean, it is technically still a cologne type scent, even though it's a fall scent, you know.
I love fall scents all year round. I'm a big fan. So absolutely. Yeah. And Mark, yes, King's Bounty is one that Sam would describe as like a spa, as like a resort. If you guys have ever been to a Disney resort, there is a certain like smell, like an aura, and it's very purposeful by them. They want that experience, they want that feel. So yes, Mark, that is one that is I don't remember if it's that one specifically, but it does smell like a resort. It does smell like a spa. It's wonderful. I love it. Sam loves it. Man, yeah, we truly cannot get enough. So then here's a good question, since we brought up Aberlite. Aberlite is known for their warranty protection. That's a huge deal for them. Since they're buying it from you, would they still have that same kind of warranty?
Yes. It would still go through Aberlite, but we would still handle it for them.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, unless Aberlite said we'll take over from here, you know, but no, we did talk about that. The same warranty still applies. We would honor anything. I mean, if it was defective or anything, we would still. I mean, I've never heard anyone say they got a defective one, but you know, if in worst case scenario, we would always take care of it. You know.
Yep.
Awesome. Either us or Aberlite. We take care of our customers. She does, and so yeah. Whenever. I mean, I had one today. That's another thing that I probably should have mentioned was, you know, switching to the plastic.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, and one thing that I'll touch on with the plastic is, and the reason why I wanted to bring it up, you were talking about USPS. They are brutal with packages, and I know you guys have experienced this, the amount of broken glass butters, the amount of broken glass larger containers that I hear about is staggering. No matter if it's got fragile all over it, no matter what you do, it's packaged perfectly. It's like they take like line dancing lessons on them. It's
they
crazy.
No.
Right.
they don't care.
Yep. So and these look good. It's the black ones. So yep, you guys did the fully switch the butters over to plastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of well, I guess it's not funny, because today we got an email from someone who just got he had ordered a Deep Pockets bundle, Ace of Phase bundle, and of course they shattered the Deep Pockets butter jar. And I mean, I've replaced so many, and I mean, I always will, because it's not the customer's fault, it's USPS. But USPS costs me a ton of money all the time, you know, and so this is going to help with that. And I've even done things like buy bigger bubble out bags to where there's actually 2 layers of bubble around the jar plus the bubble mailer itself.
Yeah, but if you're chunking a package on someone's porch.
Yeah, we I guess they do that. They do that sometimes, but yeah, I mean, over the years, you know, I first started out in 2020 with 4-ounce glass jars, and even when I was shipping in boxes, they were still breaking. You know, and then I switched to 2-ounce last year, and stayed with glass, and still kept replacing at least 3 or 4 a month.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Definitely not gonna. I'm not gonna miss that at all.
Right, and you lose the cost of the first one, you lose the cost of the second one, and the shipping on the second one. So
and also, I mean, with this jar that we use, you know, there's all kinds of plastic jars. There's single wall, double wall. Ours isn't a single wall, and it's not a double wall. It's what they call a thick wall. And so it's a little bit smaller than like your double wall jar, I guess you'd say. You know, same amount of product goes inside, but it's just going to help tremendously that I don't have to worry about. If they break plastic, then
kudos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely. So big Mr. Moose wants to know, do you guys have any new scents? And I saw somebody else ask about Fall Classic. Fall Classic is not out yet, but it should be out in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, any new scents that you guys have in the pipeline right now?
Yeah, I actually, even before this stream, I was talking to a friend of mine, another company owner, and I just told him, I said, man, I haven't done any scent creation in like 2 months. And I said, now I'm sitting down and doing it now.
You know, itching for it.
Yeah, because I've just had to handle so many. So yeah, there will be some new scents. I can't promise there'll be anything, you know, after fall class. I mean, we're almost to December already. Right. You know, but if something was absolutely mind blowing that I came up with, you know, but you know how you know how I do scents. I pass them back and forth, you know, so it takes a while, you know. Yep. I don't just make a scent and tell you it's awesome and send it to you to get your opinion and say it's great, you know.
Right.
You usually end up saying, you know, this needs to change a little bit, or, you know, or I'd like to see a little bit more of this, or, you know, or Sam will just say no.
Right.
And so I just throw that one out the window.
Yeah. We've been there. And I think that's what's needed with anything, you know. You don't want somebody just telling you yes.
I think it's all about quality over quantity. I mean, you can throw out as many scents as you want, but really what you want, especially from Defined Beard Co., is going to be a quality scent.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
I've never been one of those companies that's going to put out a new scent every month or anything like that, you know. Even having 8, I feel like I never would even reach this point. You know, I thought I'd still be at like 4 or 5, but
good old 1626.
Yeah, that's what started it all, you know. And that's what's amazing is that scent was the very first scent I ever made, and it still sells, you know. And
that's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I will be working on new scents. There will be new scents.
Cool. And Vince, King's Bounty is absolutely, it's great for nighttime. I would say the next best one would be Amherst. I think that's a nice, calming, relaxing kind of nighttime scent. And then, Jake, I don't know if you caught it, but the original Beard Wash scent is gone. As of right now, it is King's Bounty and Around the Fur would be the two that are here. Yeah, and we're going to put a closeout section up for because, I mean, we still have a few of the Invigorating Mint and the other in the conditioner, the clean scent. So we'll add that to the website for whatever's left down there. I mean, there's not a whole lot, but, you know, there's enough. And we'll put it up there real cheap so people can, you know, who love that scent can grab it, you know. There you go. And Diablo, I'm sure you caught that afterwards, but yes, the Beard Wash bars are still available, 100% there. Shout out to J Mo, how you doing, man? Hopefully, you guys caught my video with J Mo. That was an amazing one, trying to help all the beards that we possibly can from people that actually know what they're doing, what they're talking about. Yeah, and Alan, I saw that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. He said, I continue to learn about amazing companies I wouldn't have known about. That's why we do this, man. I love streams like this because it shows you, right? This is an American company. This is a family-owned company. These are owners that are doing these things, are passionate about them. And if we haven't mentioned it, guys, they are out of Buda, Texas. I've learned how to say that properly over the years. And John, good question. So one of the valuable things about being honest when you talk about products and talk about anything is people can get to learn what you like and what you dislike and base it off of that. So that's why I always tell like companies and people, like when I say I dislike a scent, that's not a bad thing. That's not a negative thing. It's a subjective thing. And there are literally guys out there, somebody else agreed with it, that if I say I dislike it, they're likely going to like it. And if I say I like it, they won't like it. So it's not just like reviewer talk. It's true. Like it's actually true. So I would say, and this actually is a kind of rare company where I like most of the scents and love a few of the scents. Man, it really is. There truly is not. And I would love to tell you guys right now, like, oh, he's got this clove one that I just hate with a passion. But if I had to pick one that is not my favorite, John, and that if people liked the opposite of my normal citrus, mint, floral kind of profiles, I would say probably Deep Pockets would be the most. That's
what I was going to say.
Yeah. Deep Pockets is strong. It is dark. It is manly. It is
very masculine.
very, very masculine scent, you guys. So if you're someone that's like, hey, man, I like spicier, I like darker, I like masculine, all the things that Dan doesn't like, this would be the scent that you would like. But I still do like it. It still is like something that is like a manly cologne. So, John, love that question. Love how you asked. I know you asked it with a smile on your face. So, yeah, that would be the one that I would say is would be the least of my favorites. Just see right here too. Bacon says that he has the opposite taste that I do as well. So, yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm never offended by that one. And Daniel says I'm a postal worker, and you're not wrong for the most part. Yeah, and I have tons of postal worker friends, and yeah, we of course are never blaming a person. We're never blaming situation. It's just, it is what it is, just some stuff is really real. And I do love this too, as we're talking about growing and expanding. Thoughts, I know you guys probably get asked often, thoughts on samples.
Yeah, I've got to get labels made and bottles done.
Kind of been waiting for this change to be able to add a whole lot more to what we offer.
And the samples are so much more time consuming, so you have to have like really a lot of free time to do it, because everything else is automated. The oils are filled by machines. The bottles are labeled by a machine.
By your wife.
Yeah. We've seen the TikToks.
Yeah. And so the samples have to be done by hand. I mean, you could use, an electric machine, but it just, if you're not careful, it gets really messy, so you have to do those by hand, and then, so it'll take a little bit longer, but yeah, I do plan on doing it. I'm just also one of those guys that even if it's just a sample, the label has to be perfect for me.
That's hilarious.
I just can't slap the name on it, and that's it. I have to have the perfect label for it. I don't know if anybody remembers when I first started and had samples. I had the little 5 ml bottles with the stainless caps that matched the old bottles, and they came.
I even ever had those.
Yeah, they came in like a black case, and I did those for a while. And as the scent line grew, I just kind of moved away from, and then I couldn't get those. Then COVID happened, and those bottles went away because those were specialty bottles.
Yep. Absolutely. And
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say, and Garrett, I have that scent list up there right there. I will actually put that in the chat right now. So if you want to check those over. And guys, man, and we're not here trying to drive crazy sales or anything like this. Just get to know the company, get to know these changes. And really, that question was a tough one of what's my least favorite. King's Bounty is a top 3 scent for me of all time. I love Around the Fur. Ace of Fades is many people's one of their favorite barbershop scents. Amorist is relaxing, calm. Deep Pockets is that dark, manly. After Party's a bright, sweet cologne that I love. 1626 is a nice on the side of citrus scents. Deep Blue is fantastic if you love blueberry. So yeah, they're all good. And like I said, I do not think I've ever had one person say, hey, I do not like this oil, right? And even Garrett, he tried a company that I love and it wasn't for him. I've heard that because maybe the oil's too thin for them. I've never heard that with Define Beard Co. ever. I cannot think of a time. So it's really cool. And then we got our guy Joe T here saying, got any Psycho Billy around?
Yeah, I've actually done Joe a solid before and got him some Psycho Billy.
Nice.
That was one of those things that one wasn't selling.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that it's not good because people do like it. I mean, there were people that was liking it, but
right.
The way I have it said is it has to hit a certain number to stay around,
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then unfortunately, I mean, I know this wasn't one of your favorites, but Distinguished Caballero, ton of people loved it because it was the tobacco and the cedar and just the dark, manly, scent. The IFRA killed that one.
For sure.
And that they also killed Lemon Delight. I mean, they killed citrus scents. You pretty much got to put like 5 citruses in each scent now to make it worth it.
Right.
It just seems like they came after citrus more in this amendment than they did in the past.
I know, and I hate to think that it's about reaction with the sun because of low quality fragrances. I have a feeling that's what it's about. Unfortunately, they're interesting. I actually just worked with a company, and I had to do a lot of research, and I learned a lot. They changed the guidelines for pets, right? Because the IFRA does everything from medicine, from like open wounds to baby products to you name it. If it involves possibly having a fragrance, the IFRA makes the guidelines. So for pet products, they changed. They were in category 10. Beards are in 5B, right? And 5A, 5B, it's been back and forth over the years. But
it's 5B right now.
Yeah, currently 5B. So hopefully we
used
stay
to be
there.
3.
I know. But dogs used to be category 10, which was the category of dish soap. When we worked with dog products, it was dish soap. Now it's category 9, which is like shampoos and normal things for humans, which is good. But I just thought that was wild. Somebody was like, maybe we should get the dog products out of dish soap with the regulations. I'm like, that's crazy. And Vado, I love this question. We know that this is respectfully asking here. There was a slight price change. If you want to touch on that, what went into that and the logic behind it. You guys are always open for questions, always fully transparent.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've even told you. I said, if anybody asks, I'll talk about it. But I mean,
absolutely,
I don't think we have to. I mean, you can go to the grocery store and find out why prices are getting higher. Inflation's through the roof, but cost of goods right now is getting really high. There's with the energy crisis and the shipping problems and things like that. Because I mean, the carrier blends and the oils that we use. I mean, I've actually upgraded those as well. Those come from different countries, and depending on what oil you're using, I mean, what carrier you're using. But yeah, I mean, there was a ton that went into it. Some a little bit had to do with the reband, but most of it had to do with the cost of the jars going up. The bottles going up,
just prices across the board.
I mean, these are things that I talk about with other beer company owners every day. Like, man, do you see the price of a case of bottles went up? $30. Like what? And you just think about it, and you have to keep everything to be able to sustain a business. You have to make a profit, and so. If you're going to sell oils at $12 or $13, you're not going to make a profit. I can tell you that right now, because I've been at the $15 point before, and although that was great, but you got to consider that a lot of people use codes, whether it be just a newcomer, a first timer code, or a Facebook ad code, or an affiliate code, or and so by the time that's all done with, it's like you're stretching your margins, you're thinning them down quite a bit. And to be able to keep operating, that's all you can do, is just adjust with the way the economy is, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're doing it the right way, you're paying your taxes, you're covering all the right things to do this for the long term. That's really where it's, I know I see sometimes and I'm like, there's no way but yes.
Yeah, we just finished the whole tax thing, and it's like, if people only knew,
it's crazy.
If you don't plan and you don't have the money in there to do it, then you're done, and so we never want to get to that point.
No.
Yep. Absolutely.
It was also advised to us by, we have accountants, and I talk to attorneys and things like that. I mean, attorneys don't really, have too much on the financial side of things, but the accountant always does. Right. The accountant if you have a good accountant, they will tell you what you need to do to be sustainable.
Correct. Absolutely. And I love this. If you read through my comments, there's a couple of people, or if you watch other videos and stuff, and they're like, hey, if I buy these ingredients and I put them together, it's going to cost me $5 for an oil. And it's like,
go for it.
Yeah. No matter what I say, you will never quite understand it. If that's where your perspective, like I have one guy who just continues to comment that, well, please explain to me why the cost of this. I'm like, oh, okay. Yep. You got it, man. Go ahead. Have fun.
Yeah.
as we said, you guys are out of Buda, Texas. Now, do you guys have an ability for people to visit right now or anything? I know the answer, but just to
No, we don't have a storefront. We just have the lab here, but that is something that we've discussed, and that the only thing that's holding us back from that right now is the economy, because it's just not the time to be
Correct.
buying square footage. I've looked into it, and we're in a small town, and so there's plenty of. The only problem is we're growing so fast. They're all new buildings. They're all brand new that have been built, and they're still just a little bit bigger than what I need right now.
Good old Buda, Texas.
But it's not even that. It's like, I could do 1,500, 2,000 square feet, but not for the price right now per square footage. It's like I don't want to do that right now. I just want to, because if I did that, we'd have a store in the front, lab in the back, warehouse, and everything. But right now, everything gets made and shipped out of this lab right here.
There you go. And Daniel says, and I'll give my feedback, because there's actually in the comment, which scent would be the least cologne scent? And I agree with, I think this came from Mark. I think 1626 would be a good first-time buyer, and Joe T agrees as well. I don't really get any remnants of cologne from that one. I think that's a pretty safe kind of baseline to start with.
Yeah. I mean, somewhere along the line, I started just creating cologne scents, whether it was a citrus cologne or, I guess, is blueberry a citrus?
No!
It's not. It's a berry, right?
Yeah, it's a berry.
Amorous was more, the cologne vibe in that one isn't so much citrus. It's the teakwood and the driftwood and the juniper that give it the cologne scent, I prefer cologne scents myself. Not like, I don't mind wearing a knockoff cologne scent, like a polo red or whatever, or, polo this, or I don't mind, that, but I just, for some reason, I prefer cologne scents myself, and so I always end up making a cologne scent.
Yeah, no, and I absolutely get that for sure. And shout out to Vinny P out there, fellow Texan, showing you some love, and he said that you're better half. Of course, that would be
Thanks, Vinny.
And Damien, I agree fully. That was some strong advice I gave. I think the oil is beautiful. I think people want to know how much is in the bottle, and I do think it is something to fully show off. I would have been very disappointed if they closed up and didn't show that beautiful golden oil.
Yeah, I was surprised when I filled the first one, and I was like, "This matches the gold on the label like perfect."
Yep.
I mean, because I had talked to you about doing, I think, frosted.
Yes, and I said no.
Because that would have been I think the main driver on that one was you wouldn't be able to see it. Plus, you're always going to run into a supply chain issue with frosted.
100%. Yep, they're really difficult. And then also the frosted, when you get oil on them, it kind of becomes clear at that point.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot there. But man, you guys in the chat, fantastic questions. We have gone through them all. I told Carrie and Mrs. Define before the stream, I said, I think it'll cap out about an hour exactly. We're at 58 minutes in, and we literally have gone through the questions. That was the last one right there.
Cool.
Awesome.
It was perfect. And the feedback was so awesome, you guys. Ryan says Amarist is still in my top 5. King's Bounty is literally in my top 3, and most people that have followed this channel know that I do not talk like that often. I do not say those things lightly. I am not great at math, but I can count to 3. So if I tell you it's in my top 3, it is literally in my top 3. You will not find me saying that with more than 3 cents. So that is huge, you guys. If anybody in the chat has any final thoughts, any words of encouragement for this company, drop those. So nice. I'm stoked for Defined. That is super nice. Well done. Very cool, man. And this will be up, guys. And like Chris just came in, and if anybody missed it, you can go back to the beginning where we break down the changes, how they happened, why they happened. It is just an amazing, beautiful switch up. That website is clean, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. And I'll kick it to you guys to kind of send this off for anything you want to say to the people watching.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, and I hope you guys enjoy the new look as well as we do. I mean, as much as we do. And I also, hope that having the scents in the wash and the unscented conditioner, because I mean, we listen to our customers, and that's the most important part. And
yes,
so we've done what you wanted, and we'll continue to keep doing that. We're customer driven. We're a customer driven company. We think about the customer before we think about ourselves, and we just want to head on into 2023 with some more momentum, and hopefully keep everything rolling and make her do more labeling
TikToks.
on TikToks. Yeah, I got to get back into the TikTok thing. That's another thing is, I got to get back into that again. This is, I was rolling along there for a while. She was my sidekick. And,
yes.
And
more of her.
Exactly. Those are the ones that get the views. I could be up there like, buy my product, and it's like 20 likes. She's over there just labeling some bottles, like 5,000 likes. I'm like, all right, well, now we know who the star of the show is.
I make labeling look good.
And kind of same thing for me. I found Chris. I am on TikTok. Just look up Dancy Bearded. I have not hit it as hard as I once was. Same kind of thing. You just get so many baskets in front of you, and you only have so many eggs to put in those baskets. And so priorities come and go. And so but there is massive possibilities there for both companies and content creators. So awesome, you guys. What is the best place for anybody to reach out to you if they have questions or they just want to give some feedback on any of this?
Support at definebeardco.com.
There you go. Awesome.
And she'll respond to you. Unless it's big trouble, then she just dumps it on
then
me.
I dump it on him. Yeah, hands off.
Perfect. All right. Well, to end this, Mrs. Define, thank you for joining us. This is your first stream. I know it's not always easy, but you genuinely didn't seem nervous at all. So that is wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Carrie, thank you so much for trusting the advice, the platform. And I'm so excited to see what the future has for Define. I can't believe we're in Q4 already and then rolling into next year.
I know. And thank you too, as well, for, giving us your platform to do this, and for, all the advice, and for any company that's out there that's just getting started. If you want good advice, talk to this guy right here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Mark.
right. Yeah, that was great, Mark. All right, guys. Thank you for watching tonight. Please reach out to Define anytime you need something. Of course, you guys know I am always available. This is a pleasure. I will hopefully see you in the comments on Sunday of my video, hopefully Sunday night for the Mayor's Beyond Bearded live stream. And then, of course, I'll see you guys on Monday for Commands Corner. And I'll actually be in Texas next week, by the way. I take off for my teacher cruise where I got the top 100 teachers. So I'll be leaving out of come into Houston.
Galveston.
Yeah, then I'll be leaving out of Galveston.
Oh, yeah.
So.
See, because I'm from Houston. I mean, we live in
Okay.
but I'm from Houston, and that's right near Galveston.
Yeah, it's about an hour. We're staying at like a super nice like Westin. They're putting us up in for. It's at the Gallery, I think is what it's called.
The Galleria.
The Galleria.
Yeah. Yep. So we're staying there and then going out of Galveston on the new cruise.
Nice.
I'm actually taking my dad. The mayor cannot go. My wife cannot go. So me and my pops are going.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. All right, guys. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Reach out.